why did you want to join Junior Miss at the time? And what year was that?
I just remember it actually being talked about at our school, and I was heavily involved in dance, and I really like to say, I guess, that I was always involved, like to be involved, just one of those people. But I think the great thing about, this type of program is you really don't have to be. I mean, it takes, people out of their shell as well. But it was really just something that I kind of instantly wanted to do and be a part of. And I'm actually, like choking this down because I can't believe it's been almost 30 years, but yes, it was 1995. So,
Well, and just to thinking about how long it has been, almost 30 years in your case, and um, some even longer than that. The program's, this will be our 68th year, which is crazy to think
right.
about, the legacy that it has. So we're here, years later, and you're still interested in giving back to the program. So it had to have made a big impact on you so long ago. What do you think has helped make that impact on you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important for young women absolutely to know about this program and to be involved if they can. Just all of the benefits that you receive, not only possible scholastic things as well, but again, just the friends that you can make through the program, participating, different sections, fitness. I remember that really well. From my year, those things were always so fun. But it did make a big impact on me. It made me want to participate even more and just to go for things, even if I was a little bit unsure of myself, which I think, happens to a lot of younger ladies around that time, in between kind of junior, senior year. You're looking ahead to senior year. It's a big year. What's going to happen? Where am I going to college? What are all these expectations of me? So that was, for me, something fun that I could participate in. And again, just be with friends and, sort of sink into that for a little while and let everything else fall by the wayside for a bit.
Yeah, and what you said there, I mean, that age range, it's so sometimes it can be so difficult to find who you are and really figure out what your next step is going to be in life, and if you even want to go to college or if you want to do something different. And then if you do want to go to college, how are you going to pay for it? So it really it's such a cool program because it highlights and celebrates the different parts of you. A lot of girls come and they're like, I don't have a talent. What am I going to do, for my talent portion if I have to do that? And I learned to play a song on the piano. That was my talent. I don't play the piano, but I am familiar with it enough to like, okay, I could probably do that. But again, I played softball. I was a cheerleader. I like, how do you show that on stage, And so you just kind of, it gives you that sort of creative freedom to say, well, I'm kind of good at that. I can do that. And so many now are doing spoken word poetry, gymnastics, karate. There's so many different ways to show your who you are in this program. And then on top of that, your scholastics, you're getting recognized for your brains rather than your beauty and your looks. And then, of course, the fitness portion that can be intimidating. So there's really so many things in this program that on the outside looking in, it probably seems like I can't do that. I'm not good enough for that. But I think what we want to do is recognize that you can do hard things. And so many of us before this class and the next ones and the next ones after that, we've already done it. And it's so meaningful and so impactful. And I think for me personally, that's sort of what drove me to even apply for this job because it was something that I recognized and I was like, I got money from that to go to school. It would be very cool to sort of give that back, and get involved in the program at a higher level. So for you, what what has driven you to want to continue motivating and encouraging girls. And we just put out a recent survey, which is why we even came across each other. Um, and it was just something that you wanted to give back in, you wanted to participate in. Why is that? Is there a specific reason that you thought I can make a difference still, even though this was 30 years ago?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think again, it's what we talked about, just the attributes of the program, but things really have changed and progressed so much since even I was involved in the program. And you're right. People, young ladies, could often think, "Gosh, what would I do for a talent portion?" But everyone has a talent. Absolutely. And so being able to showcase what your specific talent is, and it doesn't have to be your traditional things like maybe dance or piano or singing. There are so many different things to choose from. And I believe that the program has grown in that capacity too, to where you're seeing all types of talent and fitness levels. It really is just to want to have the want to actually do it. But, I absolutely do believe in still participating in something that gave me so much to give back to that. I am a current sustainer with the Junior League of Mobile, and I love mentoring our younger members that are coming into the Junior League. That's always been very important. That's a very, of course, women focused, women driven volunteer organization, developing, community skills and volunteer skills, life skills. I've always loved that. I've been attracted to that. Most recently, I'll share this because I think it's such a wonderful program as well. My husband and I, as you know, are not originally from the Mobile, Alabama area. We're from the Mississippi Gulf Coast, which is where I participated in the program in the Jackson County, Mississippi program. It was at the time. And so we moved to Mobile about 20 years ago, and we support local. We are very big in supporting all things local, whatever we can do. And for us, that meant being involved in South Alabama, the University of South Alabama, when we first kind of got here. And so we support them as much as we can. We're big sports fans. But I recently, within the past year and a half, have had an opportunity to get involved with an organization with South Alabama called JAG Gals. It is an all women's organization that actually focuses on student athletes and supporting student athletes in their time at South Alabama and beyond in all 17 sports. A lot of those South Alabama sports include young women. And so a lot of them are freshmen that are just coming in to a university off of a senior year. And it's important, I think, to, again, have programs, have individuals, have organizations that focus specifically, on women, on athletes, on, whatever that is. But, I think, again, giving back, mentoring, those are all things that have been very important to me for a long time. And I believe that Junior Miss, now Distinguished Young Women, really instilled that in me when I was a participant in the program.
And that's just like the tip of the iceberg. I mean, there's so many benefits and perks to joining this. It's a sisterhood, truly. And every person that I speak to has said that they've met so many people they would have not ever had the opportunity to meet had it not been for a program like this. And again, that's just barely scratching the surface of what this program can do for you, because there's one winner at every um, level. So you can't all win, but you can all win something out of it. And there's so much that you can do. you're becoming more confident, you're becoming more well-rounded, you're learning how to be your best self with those different elements of that program that's inside of the DYW realm. And so, yeah, there's so many perks to it. And it's one of the best, I think, is that it's free for them to sign up. So there's none, if any, cost associated with the program. And you're getting a chance to win money to further your education. So it's really just a win-win all around. And just again, reiterating that you can do hard things even when you think you can't, because you're not going through it alone. There's so many others out there who are at the same level as you, thinking I can't do that either, but you really can. And so for me, I just want to instill that in these girls. And I was one of those who was super nervous, and um, I don't have a talent. I mean, I could do fitness pretty well, so that was probably my like my most confident category. But I bombed the self-expression portion, but I won the interview portion. So there's just so many different things like that I have taken away from my experience. And I'd do it all over again because of how it impacted me. Also at the Jackson County, Mississippi program, when I did it. So it's so cool to see how much of a family this really is, and how everybody just comes together to support the program. Um, and on that note, we have to have that support. We have to have those volunteers who are dedicating their time of the day, weeks, years to the program, because it could not happen without them. And it could not happen without our sponsors and our sponsorship money that ultimately is the reason that these girls are getting to go through this program for free and to go to college and further their education. So do you have any suggestions or tips, how we can do a better job at either A, getting the word out there or to the girls, the participants, or B, letting it be known to the volunteers and the sponsors that their time and dollars really do matter, and how we can do a better job at that?
Well, I think it is definitely important to note, of course, being nationally in the birthplace in Mobile, Alabama, but you don't have to. I mean, it's throughout the country, so I think probably, and sometimes I'm at a loss for how exactly you do that. So I know what you're saying, trying to get the word out, but that you can participate from wherever you are. You don't have to be in Mobile or Mobile adjacent. You can do something from, your own state, from your own community. And I really think it is probably most likely your past participants that would be the ones who were invested. Not saying that you would probably, I mean, you could get people involved in this program because it's such an excellent program. So I think anybody who is interested in volunteering their time, especially working with young women, with working with an academic achievement program, with any, of those things, I think you could get them involved. Like I said, of course, past participants is always a good place to start. But I think understanding that it doesn't matter where you are in the country, that you can make an impact, whether that's, volunteering for a local or for a state program. I know there are various capacities in which you need volunteers. Of course, sponsorship dollars are always important as well. I am actually part of the Mobile County Commission, and so I am, so thankful to be a part of an organization that actually does sponsor and realizes the importance of this program. So, beside the fact that it's local for us here in Mobile, but it's such an impactful program. And so I appreciate that the place where I choose to work, wishes to give back in that way and participate in such an excellent program.
Yeah, and of course we are so thankful for that, and the continued support year over year. It obviously couldn't we could not be here without it. So it's important to highlight and celebrate those who are supporting the program. So that's something that we want to incorporate. We want to make sure everybody knows how much we appreciate it. And is there any sort of words of wisdom that you want to impart on future girls who are participating, or any words of encouragement that you think may help them or may steer a volunteer or a sponsor in this direction and say, that's a program that I want to be a part of?
Yeah. Um, Again, I think it's just it's what you mentioned. You know, we all have something inside of us to give, whether we're kind of an introverted person or not. I do believe at our core, you know, we all like to be involved in some level, in some way, and I think it's about making the program relevant to all, so that they can look and say, I can do that. I do want to be a part of that. I think for the young ladies, it starts with, you know, a know it, believe it, do it type of system. I'm a very big component of that. You have to know that you can do it, and you can. It's exactly what you said, even if you're a little nervous about things, and kind of jumping into it, but you've got other people there to, you know, to assist. You are not going through this process alone, whether it's parents, other family members, friends, people in the program, people, they're wonderful, valuable volunteers that are supporting these local programs. There is going to be somebody to help you through getting into this program. And it's like you mentioned, it is a win-win all the way around. I mean, you are contributing in that you are participating and you're giving your time, but what you are getting from the program is so much more valuable than just a little piece of time that I'm putting in. And I think that you will see and reap those benefits for many, many years to come. So, you know, I think, again, it's, you know, knowing that you can do that and you have the support, you can and do have the support to get through it, believing it. You've got to believe it and do it, and just, you know, get out there, put yourself out there a little bit and enjoy it. It actually is such a very much enjoyable time, you know, in your life. You know, again, there's some things about it, you know, talent portion, you know, an interview portion, but again, it's a fun thing to do. And again, if you've got friends that are already in the program participating, that's great, but you will no doubt get to know the other participants, and you know, sometimes, a lot of times, probably have lifelong friends from that.